What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Justin Ryder. I'm a commercial real estate broker and content creator in Lexington, Kentucky. This channel is all about doing deals and then helping deal makers with personal branding and productivity. So we all know that in commercial real estate brokerage, momentum usually begins with a great call or cold call. Cold calls are probably the most discussed topic amongst brokers, and you don't have to study the best brokers or the most world-renowned deal makers for too long to discover that they really are obsessed with the quantity and quality of their cold calls. They want to do more and they want the calls to be better. In today's video, I'll be sharing 5 strategies, 5 things I've learned, 5 discoveries that are helping me up my cold call game in 2024. So I'm launching into YouTube in 2024 with weekly 3-minute recaps for 2 different reasons. One, it's providing me this built-in accountability to discuss with you. I haven't even told anybody yet that I'm doing this. It's still providing accountability. And 2, it's allowing me to get comfortable on camera, which I'm discovering is a great skill for anyone to develop and something you should absolutely add into your content arsenal. So the goal in 24 was to take back the majority of my time, which I felt got a little out of control in 2023. So I've already had a significant discovery that I'm going to share today that I hope will help you. Business development is absolutely what I spend the most time thinking about, but is not the activity that I spend the most time doing. How weird is that? I mean, it's definitely the wrong approach, right? Like finding yourself thinking, I should be doing more, I could be doing more. Maybe I'm feeling guilty about not adding to my call log, as opposed to just taking the right approach, which is a systematic way of doing it. So each of these videos obviously begins with a cold call count, and my count last week was not very stellar, came in at 15. However, it was an unbelievable week with deals moving into the pipeline, a few new listings, and really a couple $100,000 added in to the pipeline and potential commissions. However, the point of all of this is to up the quantity and quality of my cold calls. If you are like me, you might be thinking, why am I not a broker who makes 300 to 400 calls every single week? I see people out there writing about that and sharing about the results. I would love to do that type of work. So I've actually tried to step back a little bit and take an honest look at my own strategy, right? Like, am I letting other people waste my time? Okay, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not being efficient enough with who I spend my time with. Am I trying to do too much myself? Maybe I've not relied on a team and tried to be an assassin for too long, and it's affected how much business development I can do. Or maybe I'm spending too much time in deal mechanics and not enough time passing those things off, trusting they'll close, and then focusing on business development. Maybe yes to all of these in different combinations. That's very good progress to me to think through those things. And these 5 discoveries that are coming up have been the key in unlocking more quality and quantity in phone calls. Number 1, you've got to incentivize yourself with something that you are passionate about. This is huge. You really have to make this personal. Marry your metrics and the stats you're chasing to something that you really, really want. For example, for me in 24, I wanted to start making videos. So I decided to combine my cold call metrics, business development efforts with the purchase of a camera. I've returned 2 or 3 cameras, by the way, in the last week. So a little obsessed with it. But I decided to marry it to beginning on YouTube. That built-in accountability has really, really helped. So incentivize yourself with something that you're really passionate about. Number 2, I think you have to ditch the script when you are calling people. So far this year, I have not used a script in one single call, and I would say that the focus on conversations and listening have been better than I've experienced before. Part of this involves having the emotional intelligence to mirror and listen to and create conversation with your counterpart. The other part of this, I think, is having the market mastery to really push for when to share data or when to push for a decision. But regardless, without a script, I have found that both parties are more engaged, including myself. this is probably one of the best places to just go ahead and discuss this. You've got to be yourself when you are doing these cold calls. Why? If you spend the entire day trying to be someone else, you will be exhausted at the end of the day. It is pretty exhausting to be an actor. So you've got to begin to train yourself, certainly, make yourself smarter and more effective, but bring that smarter, more effective person into those calls. I really do think you've got to ditch the script and be yourself. Third, you've got to build momentum at the beginning of the week. This is so crucial. If your goal is 50 calls, which mine is for next week, and you knock out 25 on Monday, along with a full schedule of other items and deal flow, you're potentially going to reach that goal before and go beyond it, even into next week's goal. I do believe that there are two ways to play Mondays. Really, it's one of two. Every Monday can be catching up on the weekend's documents or conversations or returning messages, or you can hit Monday on the offensive, charging forward. A lot of times that will require weekend work, catching up on stuff on the weekend and setting yourself up. I have found if you knock out a large chunk of cold calls at the beginning of the week, you will undoubtedly reach your goal. 4, you've got to build a really smart list. Build the smartest list as possible. So far this year, all of my cold calls have been aimed, for the most part, at a specific owner that owns a sub-institutional asset and hasn't sold it in a certain amount of time. Literally, that is a smart list because those people will all benefit from hearing the same information. They are all curious about similar comps, similar market movement, similar happenings in the market. So the smarter the list, the more curious each of the list members are about the same information. Therefore, the conversation is better. That has totally changed this year. Now, you might have to research and or pay someone to build you a smart list, especially if the list that you're going after is not necessarily in one of the databases like CoStar or RealNext or something like that. This list I had to go find help to build. I didn't want to outsource it 100%. I wanted to be a part of it because they're all local properties that are right in my market. Although I had help, I want to be walking these properties, seeing these properties, driving these properties, and really digging into that list myself. So build smart list. Finally, number 5, during your call block, do nothing but call. This is a huge lesson for me and something that has upped the ante on the quantity of my calls and allowed me to get more. As you're going through your CRM, you're naturally going to find mistakes. Names are wrong, owners are wrong, the number didn't work, the email bounced back. Do not change any of that. You may flag it, you may create yourself a to-do if it's just one click. Do not spend time changing or fixing the database. Just dial. That's number 5. Do nothing during that call block, but call, come back later and fix your list. Okay, so there you have it. Those were 5 cold call tips that are helping my prospecting journey grow in 2024. I hope they help your pipeline explode. If you have other tips I missed on great cold calls or advice on any one of these, drop them in the comments below. Would love to connect with you, especially if you're passionate about YouTube and you're on this platform. I'm just getting to know people in the commercial real estate world on YouTube. So thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next week.